Another round of sessions has just begun here at the Creating Change Conference. Each day of the conference is filled with countless sessions dealing with specific issues that affect communities within the greater LGBTQ community.
We believe the LGBTQ movement is especially suited to lead in this time. We tap into our most strategic, energized selves. We mobilize communities, we fight back, and we win.
These daily victories, whether they are personal, community, or political, add up. And when we share them, we give each other light and love and the strength to survive, thrive, and fight for another day.
The task force is one of the largest organizations in the country that is an advocate for the policy changes that we need.
It's education, continual education.
It's a place where I think you see people blossom over a few days.
Coming here is a way for me to connect with other people doing similar work.
It's sort of a skills building, family reunion, activist gathering, re-energizing with fun on the side.
I've never experienced so much love and happiness in one place.
Folks who come go home with new skills, new information, new perspective. They see, feel, hear, and interact with a movement that is as fully diverse as all of the ways in which we are LGBTQ.
What brought you to the Creating Change Conference?
What brought me to the Creating Change? No.
Do it again. Let's do it again.
So,
see, the Creating Change Conference isn't only serious, it's actually very fun.
It is.
But what brought you to the Creating Change Conference?
What brought me to the Creating Change Conference is queerness and love. Queerness and love.
The task force doesn't tell people what to do. They tell them how to do it. They tell them how to access different levers of power so that they know how to advocate for themselves and the things that they believe in.
There's just nothing really like creating change out there for queer issues.
The Creating Change Conference is one of these amazing conferences where people get to connect, they get to collaborate, they get to work together as a community. And one of the great things that I see here is the Creating Change Conference and the task force provide a platform for all of us within the LGBTQ community and those who support the LGBTQ community to come together.
There's no organization like it that brings so many of the diverse communities within the LGBTQ community together.
It represents people across the entire lifespan and LGBT community.
What are your experiences with mingling with different parts of the LGBTQ community, yet feeling like being part of the same community as a whole?
It's so important to come back every year as a Jewish queer individual. There's so many facets to who we are as individuals, both as LGBTQ individuals and whatever other identities we bring. And it's just amazing to meet and learn and hear and speak to each other and to see what challenges we have.
We're all in this together. We come here to continue to be educated. We come here to be re-energized. We come here to network with others, to help aid others who may be struggling, who may be disenfranchised, or who may be weary. That's what brings us at a conference like this. And the task force makes it possible. And I love it.
I have to use what I learn here at Creating Change to slow my assumptions down, to recognize there are many solutions from many people. There are other people who are authorities over their own lives, and how can I help support the work that they seek to do?
The 7th Latinx Institute just ended, and did all of you come out of the Latinx Institute just now? What is the sabor, right? What is the flavor that you add to the LGBTQ community?
I believe it's that bringing all our identities with us, like being indigenous, being Afro-Latinx, being immigrant, being trans, being queer, being all those identities we're bringing together in one space.
They bring their experience, what they have, and we learn from them, and they take our experiences, take it to their communities.
We're all so many different things. The only way that we do our best is if we have each other's back.
We need to stand up for our trans family. We need to stand up for our lesbian, gay, bisexual, for our family around the world, and for our family that is suffering in all kinds of ways. If we are to fight for justice, if we are going to win, we must fortify ourselves and our movement. We must build power.
In his speech, Reverend Dr. King goes on to say that power at its best is love. implementing the demands of justice. Justice, at its best, is power correcting everything that stands against it.
This is the part of the Creating Change conference when we're going to the Hill. We're actually moving over 500 LGBTQ advocates from our conference center to the Hill to meet with our representatives. It's a day where we as advocates get to create change. What is your takeaway from meeting with representatives?
When we were going in there and just talking to all these people and really explaining our take on the issues and why they actually do matter, it gives you a voice.
Like I was speaking to someone who could actually do something, and it was because I was there telling them to do something.
We have to battle on every front to keep the gains that we've accomplished and keep moving forward.
Amanda, are you crying? See, there is so much heart here. What are you feeling right now?
I'm just really proud of my community, but also sad that we're still having to do this. As somebody who's a historian and loves to study our history, it's just, it is upsetting that we're still working for just basic human rights together, but I'm glad that we're doing it.
Advocacy Day is about empowering the young local activists who come from all over the country to creating change, to engage in the advocacy about the issues that matter to their lives, and to empower them to continue that advocacy when they leave at the end of this amazing week.
The task force is a watchdog for LGBTQ people. The task force started FedWatch, a program along with over 250 partners that monitors the Federal Register. After a bill is released, if it's potentially harmful to the LGBTQ community, the task force engages these over 250 progressive partners to comment on the bill. In turn, as part of the process, elected officials, politicians, and our leaders are required to respond. This essentially blows the cover on hard-to-find attempts at discrimination. How has the Creating Change conference changed you?
It's given me the confidence to be who I am.
Basically, come out of your shell and hug people. Can I give you a hug?
Yes!
I've just been able to create a family after being at this conference, and we've only been here for 3 days, but I feel like I've known these people for like years.
You don't even know what kind of privileges you're missing out on until you come to some place like this and suddenly you're included everywhere.
It gives me the energy to keep on working, fighting for equality.
This was the first place I was able to feel safe and out and queer in my body.
It has helped me be the best that I can be to help my organization grow.
Now, here's something else that happens at Creating Change. Not only do we focus on activism and advocacy and building communities, but we also get fashion tips. I love your tie.
Well, thanks. It's
Where'd you
one of
get
my favorites? I got it at a thrift shop.
See, this is what happens at Creating Change. We get fashion tips.
And no, you can't have it.
When I got the chance to come to Creating Change in that first year, 5 years ago, I saw more being you than I could possibly even absorb. It gave me the opportunity to see exactly what that looked like and then take that and put it upon myself and say, so now, who are you? And I had the chance to begin to evolve to be me. Yeah. And that's what that is. That's exactly what it is. I have that chance, and now I've taken it, and now I've evolved, and I am becoming more and more of who I am. Who would have ever thought that I would have the opportunity to actually be myself?
It's been an incredible 10 years. I've met some amazing people. I can honestly say that I've helped change a lot of people's lives, and that makes me feel like I've done what I was supposed to do. It's too early to make me cry, but it was all worth it, and I would do it all over again.
Our community needs a place to come together, to talk, to argue, to work, to mentor, to socialize, to re-energize ourselves, because we're battling every single day. No matter who you are, no matter what issues you're working on, that's a piece of the community's soul that the task force really feeds.
Each year, we give away hundreds of scholarships. But it takes money to give those away. If folks can give to the task force, and if they want to designate that for the scholarship fund, we will make sure that more and more people come to Creating Change.
We want to be able to say yes to every person who may be less privileged, who applies for financial aid to come to Creating Change. We want to be able to say yes to all of them. I think it's one of the most direct impacts you can make in the LGBTQ movement is sponsoring someone to come to Creating Change and realize they're not alone, and to realize that they are part of a larger community, and to give them maybe a renewed sense that I have a future as a happy LGBT adult, right? And that's what coming to Creating Change gives a lot of young people.
Supporting the task force ultimately gives back to individuals to help them grow, and then go back into their own communities to help their communities grow.
It allows all of these like-minded people to get together and really strive towards making a change.
Come learn about the task force. We do incredible things, from creating change to FedWatch to queering the census. Learn what we do, invest in what we do, help us build the future that we want.
Over 18 years ago, I became engaged by the National LGBTQ Task Force, supported as a member of the LGBTQ community. I got active through events and fundraisers, and eventually speaking out as an advocate and as an activist for the LGBTQ community and with the National LGBTQ Task Force. I support the task force because they support us, and we need you to join us. Join forces. The work of the organization has a massive impact in DC, statewide, and across the country. The task force's effect is seen in its influence on public policy, professional education for nonprofits on the ground, building up and developing the next generation of activists. With your additional support, the task force can touch more lives through the Creating Change conference. The power you have is in your hands to give and support the task force and the fight for the rights of the LGBTQ community.
If I can be me, you can be you. So be you.
Be you.
Be you. Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you always.
Be you. Sé tú.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
So you gotta be you, you gotta be here, you gotta be queer, and you gotta be awesome. You just gotta be you.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you. Be you.
Be you.
Be you. Be you.
Be bright, be bold, and be you.
Together, thousands of advocates and activists unite here at the Creating Change conference to do exactly that. To create change, to improve our LGBTQ community. And that's all thanks to the National LGBTQ Task Force.